Welcome to English Without Limits. In today's lesson, we will review some of the things we learned about classroom items, food, and families. We will also review the words that we use to describe where two things are in relationship to one another. Remember those words? We call them prepositions. And we will also learn how to introduce ourselves to a group of people or to someone else, and how to interview another person and find out information about them. I hope you enjoy the lesson. In earlier lessons, we learned about some of the things we use in a classroom. Do you remember what some of these are? We talked about things like a pencil or a pen. We also learned the words for eraser, for when you make mistakes, and a ruler, for when you need to draw a straight line. Today we're also going to talk about a scissors that you use to cut things. And we're going to talk about crayons, the things you use to color things. We're also going to talk with the class about that question of what you want to do in the future. What job would you like to have? Do you want to be a community helper? So you might remember the question, what would you like to do when you grow up? What would you like to be when you grow up? Well, let's join the class as they review these things.
All right, what I'd like to do first of all is just have a little review, a little practice, because we've been on a break for a long time, a couple of weeks we haven't seen each other. So what I thought we would do is just start by reviewing some of the things that we've learned. For example, the first thing I would like us to review is our school supplies that we learned at the very, very beginning of the school year. And the way we're going to do this is I'm going to ask, for example, Muna, I'm going to ask you to please ask Nanslyn what she has in her school bag. Could you ask her that, please? And Nanslyn will look in her school bag and tell you what she has inside. Okay, go ahead, ask her the question. Okay, ask her, Nanslyn, what do you have in your school bag? Okay, and Nanslyn, would you please answer her? What do you have in your school bag?
Ruler.
Okay.
Pen. Pencil. Pencil. Pen. Eraser. Scissors.
Anything else?
Crayon.
And crayons. Very good. All right, and let's thank you very much. And now let's try with somebody else. So, for example, Carrie Lynn, you are going to tell Pafsamu what is in your school bag. You ask her, ask Carrie Lynn, what is in your school bag?
What is in school bag?
Ruler, pencil, pen, eraser, scissors, crayon.
Very good. All right, the next thing I would like us to practice is the lesson that we did, thank you, the lesson that we did on food, fruit and vegetables. And I would like, for example, what I'm going to ask is, Pladoso, could you ask Pavsamud what she had for dinner yesterday? Okay, stand up and say, Pavsamud, what did you have for dinner yesterday?
What is it?
What did you have for dinner yesterday?
What did you have yesterday?
Very good. And Pavsamud, tell him what you had for dinner yesterday.
I have chicken,
You had chicken.
potato, and corn, carrots,
Broccoli.
Broccoli.
Very good. Okay, thank you. And one more. I'm going to now ask Bavmuna, would you please ask Nenslin what she had for dinner yesterday?
When do you use dinner yesterday?
Okay.
Chicken, tomato, potato, carrot,
Okay.
corn,
And corn. And that's all? Okay, that's very good. All right. Next thing I'd like us to practice is our community workers. And I'm going to ask you, like someone from this group, to ask someone from this group, what would they like to be when they grow up? What community worker would they like to be when they grow up? So, for example, Pavsabo, would you please ask Pladoso what he would like to be when he grows up? And you're going to answer, I would like to be, and then tell us. Okay, you may begin.
What you want to be? You will grow up.
daughter.
He would like to be a dentist. Very good. Thank you. Carrie Lynn, Nenslin, I'm going to ask you to ask Carrie Lynn what she would like to be when she grows up.
What do you like to be
When you grow up. Yeah.
I would like to be teacher.
I would like to be a teacher. Very good.
In our last lesson, we learned how to use words that tell us where two things are in relation to one another. So we might say something like, we have a dog and we have a house. Now we could say the dog is on the house, or we could say the dog is under the house, or we could say the dog is beside the house, or in front of the house, or behind the house. When we use those words, we're using prepositions. They help us talk about where two things are in relationship to one another. Let's join the class as they review these.
All right, and the last thing I would like us to review, and that was the last thing that we learned the last time we met together, was positions. And if you remember, we did asking where is the pen, and we used the blue box. Today we're going to use the basket. I am going to place the pen under the table, and you are going to be asking the question, is the pen in the basket? Is the pen under the basket? Is the pen behind the basket? And the rest of the group is going to answer, and then finally you are going to tell us what the pen really is. You're going to tell us is that no, the pen is under the table. All right, volunteers, Pavsabud, would you please come up and do the demonstration? And we as a whole group are going to be answering her. Okay, you may begin. Is the pen in the basket?
Is the pen in the basket?
No, the pen is not in the basket. A little bit louder. Good.
Is the pen beside the basket?
No, the pen is not under the basket.
Is the pen behind the basket?
No, the pen is not behind the basket.
Where is the pen?
The pen is under the table. Very good.
Let's practice this a little more. I'm going to show you a picture of a dog and a picture of a house. And you must say where the dog is in relationship to the house. You might say the dog is on the house or under the house. I will not ask you, where is the dog? I will not say that. You must tell me where the dog is when you see the picture. Say it in a complete sentence. The dog is under the house, or the dog is beside the house. Say a complete sentence. When you see an arrow, like this one, then you would say the dog is on the left of the house, or the dog is on the right of the house, depending on the side. Are you ready? Let's begin. This is a dog. This is a house. The dog is on the house. Now you say it.
Now, so today's lesson, we will begin with the family tree, my family, and I want you to refer to your family page that you all have in front of you, and this is what I would like us to do today. This is what we call a family tree. You are going to identify your family members this time. So for example, your father's father is your grandfather, so you're going to put his name there. Your father's mother is your grandmother, and you're going to put her name. Your father might have a brother, that's your uncle, so you're going to put his name, and perhaps your father might have a sister as well, so you will, who is your aunt, and you will put your aunt's name here. Then you will do the same thing on your mother's side. Your mother's father is your grandfather. You will name him. Your mother's father is your grandfather. You will name him as well. If your mother has a brother, that's your uncle. You will name him. And if your mother has a sister, that's your aunt, and you will name her. Now, your aunt and uncle, if they have children, those are your cousins. So over here, where it says other family members, you are going to list your cousins here. And in here where it says person, that happens to be you, you will put your name. And then list, if you have any brothers or sisters, just list them over here. All right? You may begin.
For several lessons now, we have been learning about the family and the names for different members of the family, like your grandfather, grandmother, aunt, or uncle. We're going to build your family tree now. What are the names of the people in your family? So if you have the sheet that the teacher used, you can begin to fill it out. You can put your name in the middle and all your brothers and sisters, and then put in your parents and your grandparents and your uncle and your aunt. And finally, you can put in the names of your cousins. Do both sides of the family, your mother's side of the family and your father's side of the family. When you are done, you will have your family tree. If you don't have this paper from the teacher, you can make one like it, just using a pencil and paper. All right, are you ready? Let's begin. Please stop the video and do the activity.
Very good. Now what I'm going to ask is I'm going to ask somebody in the group to share your family tree with the class. So, for example, Pavsablut, are you ready to present your family tree to the class? That doesn't matter, no. Okay. Okay, so bring your chart up to the front, and maybe what we'll do is we'll put your chart up here, and you can explain to the class your family tree. Okay, so put that up. Very good. Excellent. Okay, so this is Pavsablut's family tree. Okay, you may begin.
This is my family tree. All my mother's side. My mother name is Sibwe.
Okay.
And my grandfather name, usually I call my grandfather Bado. And my grandmother name is Modo. And my man and my aunt.
Yes, that's your sister, your aunt. Yes.
And my aunt's name is Nyanya. And my man brother. My uncle name is Titi.
Okay, and now on your father's side.
And my father name is Chabwemu. And my grandfather name is Bado. And my grandmother name is Modo. And my father sister, my aunt, this my
yes,
aunt.
That's your auntie.
Name is Nyanya. And my father brother, it's my uncle's name is Titi.
Okay, continue. Okay, you may continue with starting. Okay,
That's my name.
that's
What's
you.
up?
Yes.
And my brother and sisters, their name is Pladoso, Evergreen, Roslyn, Love Me, and Kiss Me. The Love Me and Kiss Me is twin. And
Okay,
Caroline, Nancy, and Tequila.
very good. Now, what about your aunties and uncles' children?
That's my cousin.
Your cousins, yes. You didn't list them? Well, maybe you can just tell us. Just tell the class, who are your cousins?
The cousin, niece,
Yes.
and slipper.
Okay. Any other cousins? Do you have any other cousins? Do you have some cousins from your father's side? From your father's brother or sister, their children, their cousins? Do you have more cousins? No? Just on that one side. Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
You have heard the students sharing their family tree with the class. Now it's your turn. You turn off the video and you turn to a friend in class, or maybe share it with the whole class, but tell them the names of your family members. Tell them the name of your father, your mother, your grandmother, your grandfather, and so on. Are you ready?